Folks, Kent, Hovind, Alabama, December 22nd. Do the days feel like they're getting longer? Yesterday was the shortest one. Oh, yeah, a little bit long. We're glad you joined us here. Let's see, I'm on the wrong channel, wrong page here. Right here. And I want to go over, what did I do, brother? There, Alt DV. There it is. Okay. December 22nd. Tonight, making babies, the egg-yolk jellyfish. People send me all kinds of stuff to look at. Well, Hovind, you got to look at this. If I did that, that's all I would do all day long. Okay. And I work pretty hard all day long, I think. We built quite a bit on that deck today and read about 4 trips to the different stores. And anyway, but I watched the egg-yolk jellyfish. I thought, how can anybody with a functioning brain cell believe in evolution and see something like this? Let me just show you a quick clip of what we're going to be talking about here tonight. Let's see. We want to go to this one. This guy talks about Charlie Darwin and making, oh, that's the wrong clip. Making, no, that was the right one. Wrong video. I got 3 videos over there. This live TV, brother, tears me up, doesn't it? Right here. We're going to go to this one. No, to this one. Here we go. They sent me this clip on the egg yolk jellyfish. I said, you got to be kidding. God has a sense of humor. There.
Most alien-like animals that you would never believe exist on Earth. The fried egg jellyfish.
That's what we're going to talk about. The fried egg jellyfish. That little 1 second clip. I said, what? A fried egg jellyfish? Yeah. Let's talk about that in just a minute when my brother straightens up. Okay? But he's a hunchback, so that might be a while. Let's see. Kent Hovind, December 22nd. We're on Rumble, on Odyssey, a whole bunch of other places, Genesis Baptist Church on YouTube. Get them all on Dr.Dino.com. Or come visit Dinosaur Adventure Land. Was that cool last night? You didn't go, Joseph? We went to Andalusia where they have the, what do they call it? The light something? Anyway, it was incredible. Candyland. That was cool. And we got a bunch of ideas for Dinosaur Adventure Land here, so we'll do it. Okay, no parental advisory tonight. We got all kinds of stuff at Dinosaur Adventure Land. You can come see our babies, lots of stuff. Had a baby lamb born yesterday. I got up there to hold it. So, no, that's the wrong one. Move it down a couple blocks. Genesis Baptist Church, live from Lenox, Alabama. Solomon said, go to the ant, thou sluggard, consider her ways. You can look at an ant and learn something. You can look at any living thing and learn something. 12,000 kinds of ants. Consider the lilies. Wow, 2,000 varieties of lilies. You could learn something from a lily. They're really complicated, they're beautiful, and they don't care about their clothes. You could learn something from the raven. He said, consider the ravens. Can you imagine a raven? That's a big raven, much bigger than a crow. All different kinds of ravens might have had a common ancestor called a raven. And there's animals that reproduce sexually and asexually without a partner. Some can do both. There's lots of different kinds of watermelon, and they might have had a common ancestor called a watermelon. The Bible says they will bring forth after their kind. That's all anybody has ever seen. That is science. Anything else is nonsense, okay? Not science. Let's see, how many, a whole bunch of different kinds of mangoes, a whole bunch of kinds of apples. We believe the Bible is true. They always bring forth after their kind. And you atheists, instead of thinking about what you think about, you're going to say, well, what's a kind? Doesn't matter. They know what their kind is. We're the ones trying to put classification systems in place. The apples don't do that. They just look for another apple tree to mate with, okay? So you can join our 777 club or go to drdino.com if you want to help us stay open for free. This button's still yellow, rather, to donate?
Yes.
I got on here, hit the yellow button, so I've never, oh, there it is, right there. So if I hit it, never mind. Okay, make any checks to CSC. That's our ministry, Creation, Science, Evangelism. And get our video series on our seminar series. Too late to get it for Christmas unless you want to come drive down and pick it up at the store. We'll open up for you. But in Lenox, Alabama, the video series has changed probably millions of lives worldwide. Best Christmas gifts to give, all kinds of stuff. Gifts or for New Year's Eve present for somebody. These videos are life-changing. It's not because I did it. It's because it's God's word that's honored, okay? Get our series, What on Earth is About to Happen, for heaven's sake. Boy, it's coming, folks. We are here. Tribulation time. Anyway, God blessed them and said, be fruitful and multiply. The first chapter of the Bible, God created reproduction as a blessing. He blessed them, said, be fruitful and multiply. Be fruitful and multiply. He blessed Noah and said, go have a bunch of kids, boy. Be fruitful and multiply. And he made them male and female. And there's only 2, by the way. Guys who, what do you call them? You don't call them guys anymore. Yeah, what's their pronoun? Queer. Yeah, okay. Never mind. Okay, God made them male and female, and that's all there are, all right? Male and female, male and female. Is there more than two species, more than two sexes of cows, guys? Or frogs? Or, anyway. I think God in his infinite wisdom gave the command for all life forms to make babies. And he gave the needed equipment and the drive to do such, okay? Watch the deer during rutting season. They will kill each other. They got a drive to find Mrs. Deer. Yeah, okay, right. And he gave an amazing variety of ways for them to do it. And when you see how the egg-yolk jellyfish makes babies, if you got a brain cell still alive in your head, you should say, wow, God, you're amazing. And the more I study these things, the more I just fall in love with the Lord. I can't wait to get up to heaven and let him teach me for the next 400 trillion years, okay? I think you're going to have no excuse for believing the stupid evolution theory. And it is stupid, okay? You have no excuse Judgment Day. So I think God made so many different ways for animals to reproduce and make babies that no one, not even diehard evolution believers, and you are a believer, by the way, it's not science, but have no excuse Judgment Day. These methods of reproduction had to be designed. Solomon said, or King David said, I'm fearfully and wonderfully made. So we've studied a whole bunch of different animals. We started off with the anglerfish. Nobody answered that one. The tardigrade, nobody answered that one. Let's go on up to 149. Let's see, tonight we're on number 50. Give you guys something else to shoot at. You won't do it here. But let's see. Nobody's going to answer my questions. I know. The jellyfish. God said, let the earth bring forth living creature after his kind. And so everything that creepeth upon the earth after his kind, and God saw it was good. There are 2,000 different types of jellyfish that have been found in the ocean so far. Scientists believe there could be as many as 300,000 different species yet to be discovered. That's the code word for send more government grants. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Of the 2,000 known species, only 70 can be harmful to human beings. The box jellyfish, and I name some more here, okay? Watch this one. The immortal jellyfish, it can transform itself into the polyp stage from the mature medusa, thus avoiding death. How many of you, when you get old, would like to transform yourself back into a teenager? Well, maybe not a teenager. How about a little smarter than that, okay? How about a college, how about a 20-year-old? Can you imagine transforming yourself? How did that evolve? Over 50 species of box jellyfish, and many give more than a painful sting to healthy people, okay? The four-handed box jellyfish has caused its share of deaths. See, when conditions are poor, they can transform and shrink into a small dome-shaped cyst. And then when the environment gets better, they come back out. How many of you, when you're broke, don't have any money, could just transform yourself and go to sleep and sleep for 4 months and wake up when there's more money in the bank? A jellyfish does that. God said, let's go confound their language. That's the first mention of the word confound. Who was that in that movie that always said, confound it? Was that Barney Fife or somebody? Confound it. Always said that. Anyway, confound. God called the Tower of Babel, were they babbling idiots? He changed all their language. He confounded their languages. God hath chosen the foolish things of the world to confound the wise. A jellyfish will confound you atheists and evolutionists, okay? The weak things of the world to confound the things that are mighty. To confound the wise. Let's see, that no flesh should glory in his presence. God made the simple things impossible to evolve. You cannot even give a good story on this one, just to show he ought to get the glory. You should not don't glorify yourself in the presence of God. The wrath of God is revealed from heaven against all ungodliness and unrighteousness of men who hold the truth in unrighteousness, because that which may be known of God is manifest in them. God has showed it unto them. For the invisible things of him from the creation of the world are clearly seen, being understood by the things that are made, even his eternal power and Godhead. They're without excuse. Professing themselves to be wise, they became fools. And you folks who believe in evolution are fools. Now, don't get mad at me. I'm just a messenger boy delivering the message from God. He says, if you believe in evolution rather than him, you are a fool. Messenger boy, $10, please, okay? Don't get mad at me. Today, we're going to look at a simple jellyfish to show the evolutionists how stupid it is to believe this creature. You know, my mommy would have washed my mouth out for using the word stupid. But she's up in heaven now saying, go get him, son. You're right. It's stupid. Okay. Confound who believe this creature and its amazing methods. It has more than one method of reproducing. Just in case one doesn't work, got a couple more up it, but it doesn't have a sleeve. Wherever they put them, it's got it there, okay? Who think they are wise for believing in evolution. Simple jellyfish. They cannot and will not give a step-by-step scientific explanation for how it evolved from a single-celled creature. You can't do it. I promise you, you can't do it. Why don't you admit, we can't explain that, Hovind? You're right. Maybe that was designed. Yeah. Jellyfish reproduce sexually by releasing sperm and eggs into the water. They just let the sperm and eggs out into the water and hope they find each other. You know how big the ocean is? You know how inefficient that would be? It works, doesn't it? There's a bunch of jellyfish out there. We'll see in a minute. A whole bunch of them, okay? So they form a planera. In the larval stage, the planera hooks onto a smooth rock or structure and grows into another stage, a jellyfish life, the polyp. Okay, in scyphozoans, a polyp splits into 10 to 15 plate-like segments stacked on top of each other in a tower called a strobila. So the polyp just splits up into little bitty layers, and each layer drifts off and becomes a new jellyfish. How did that evolve? See, for a long time, they learned how to split into layers, and then they just all died because they didn't know how to make a jellyfish out of that layer. Oh, well, they just all died. For millions of years, they died until one of them succeeded. After a segment separates from the strobila, it is called a ephria. I should have looked up how to pronounce all these words. The atheists will pick on how I pronounce them rather than look at the obvious truth. I know how you are. Okay. A juvenile jellyfish. Jellyfish can also reproduce asexually by cloning itself, branching out and forming a segment, which will eventually bud off to form independent animals. Wouldn't that be cool? Just grow a bump out of your shoulder that just becomes a new person, brand new Kent Hovind, start over again. I don't know if that'd be cool. How would you get a shirt to fit? Speaking of shirts, somebody sent me some Hawaiian shirts, including, I didn't look at them all yet, a FedEx shirt. Is that it, Bobby? Oh, no, I'm sorry. Here we go. Look at this. Hawaiian shirts. And just a U.S. postage shirt. Yeah. I love Hawaiian shirts. No, 65 million years ago. No, year 2099. Okay. Hawaiian shirts with dinosaurs on them. Love it, love it. Thank you. This Christmassy enough for... Okay, good. It was the next one online in the closet. I just picked the next one. I don't care about this stuff. So jellyfish, they have several different methods of reproduction. Evolutionists, can you explain any of them without just giving a story, a SpongeBob, just imagine story? Let's see. Insights into the transcriptional and translational mechanisms of linear organellar chromosomes in the box jellyfish. Let's see. Evolution of linear mitochondrial genomes in a jellyfish. Let's see. First, complete mitochondrial genome sequence of a box jellyfish. You have to, if you want to do research and get money, you have to research on how evolution works. You cannot research on did it work. You cannot question did it work. You have to research how it worked, and then they'll give you grant money. That's the way it works. You can only research how evolution, and if you don't come up with a conclusion that glorifies evolution, you won't get another grant. This is the way it works, folks, okay? Many jellyfish can produce their own light. Now, that's a bright idea, okay? Let's see. Jellyfish. There's a whole bunch of them. 900 million As of 1999, they did a population count on jellyfish. Those are the ones that registered, okay? 900 million jellyfish. Average baby, have 100 babies at a time, average. Top speed, 5 miles an hour. And they're going to say in one of these videos I'm going to show you that the jellyfish just pushes itself along. Its method of expanding and contracting the bell requires a whole lot of special muscles. How did that evolve? You guys won't answer. You can't answer that. Okay. They only live 3 to 6 months. Don't you think somewhere along the line of evolution they would have all just made one mistake and all died? Nope. They all made it. They're short lifespans, and they're still around. How many generations has it been since the original jellyfish evolved? Tell you what, take your, how many billion years ago was it, the first jellyfish? What's a billion divided? How many 3 to 6 month periods are there in that? A whole bunch, okay? Let's see. 1/2 inch long to 7 feet long. It's a big jellyfish. All right. Jellyfish, the study of jellyfish eye evolution. Stop right there. You're not allowed to study did it happen. You're only allowed to study that it happened and how it happened. You got me all figured out there? They're all looking at me funny here. Oh, I see it. I see it. Okay, wake up right there. I don't care. Never mind. Let's see. Jellyfish evolution. Consequently, despite the taxonomic diversity that has evolved among these jellyfish, it appears only 2 primary functional modes have evolved. You got to keep using the word evolved, or you won't get a government grant. I'm just telling you how it works, okay? First jellyfish genome sheds light on evolution of animal complexity. A team of researchers from the United States and Germany has sequenced and analyzed the genome of the moon jellyfish. See, we got an egg jellyfish, a moon. Let's see. The results show that the early jellyfish repurposed an existing set of genes. So it already had the genes and it just changed it and repurposed them. They just cannot say, maybe it was designed. You can't do that, can you? Anyway, Metazoan genomes inform the evolution of the jellyfish body plan. I see. Predatory jellyfish lived before plants had evolved. Discover magazine. You won't get anything published in Discover magazine if it doesn't glorify evolution. Like many such finds, revealing creatures from the early oceans, these plasmiformes originated in the Burgess Shale deposit. There is no such thing as a Burgess Shale deposit millions of years ago. The jellyfish fossils are especially remarkable for having preserved delicate creatures that are 95% water. Now, how do you get a fossil of a jellyfish since they're 95% water? You'd almost think it was buried real fast, wouldn't you? Like maybe in Noah's flood? You're not allowed to say that. Okay, let's see. Did we split off evolutionary from jellyfish? Remind me to ask the next atheist I debate, are you related to a jellyfish?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Let's see. We got them related to all kinds of stuff here. Professor Dave's related to a strawberry. I got the chart right behind me here. Okay. I've read that jellyfish first evolved 500 million years ago. How long before that did we split off from them? Whoever's doing the question, your question has a built-in assumption, okay? You're assuming we did split off from them. We didn't. It's like asking, why are elephants orange? They're not orange, okay? We didn't split off from them. We were created in God's image, but I'll go on with your dumb quote here. New comments cannot be posted here. It's a bit more complicated than how the question is worded, but a simple answer is roughly 600 million years ago. So whoever did, what is Reddit anyway? Is that people just answering questions? Anybody can ask? Yeah. Put me in there. I want to answer the questions. Yes, sir. We didn't evolve. Okay. 600. Okay. The right way to phrase the question would be something like, along the lines of, when did the most recent common ancestor of humans and jellyfish live? Oh, that makes it different. Yeah. Okay. What did jellyfish evolve from? The question is a built-in assumption. That's not true. Jellyfish most likely evolved from something like the hydra. It appears much like an individual coral polyp without an exterior skeleton. First jellyfish genome reveals ancient beginnings of complex body plan, how they evolved. All you got to do is type in, how did jellyfish evolve? And you'll get 30 different answers. See, what this really boils down to is very simple. Long ago and far away, just imagine 500 million years ago. It can't happen now, but it happened back then somehow, magically. Just imagine, boys and girls. So let's look at the jellyfish here. Let's see, right over here. And right, is this the one? Yep. All right, let's play a few minutes of the BBC.
Only a tiny part of the marine world. 90% of it is open water. Its currents carry life for thousands of kilometers. The masters of this nomadic existence are jellyfish. A life spent drifting in the empty ocean could be a lonely one, but not for this jellyfish. Aurelia. Swarms like this are not accidental. These individuals all hatch together when the temperature and currents were just right.
So when the temperature and current is just right, they all know to hatch. See, for millions of years, they evolved. They hatched too soon, and they all died. I mean, there weren't any jellyfish for billions of years till they all figured out, we got to get to 62 degrees and then hatch. Everybody passed the word along to the whole, is it called a school of jellyfish, a herd, a gaggle, a pride, a flock? I don't think they care. Okay. So they evolved to hatch at just the right time, and poof, there they go. Look at all of them.
Right. Their timing has ensured that they can make the most of feeding on a late summer plankton bloom.
So they decided to evolve the ability to hatch at just the right time, when it's the right temperature and when the plankton takes off, so they got something to eat. This is amazing how it evolved. I mean, to glorify God. I mean, not God. Evolution did it, folks. Oh, yeah. Keep in mind, all of them fit in a dot smaller than an atom. All of them. And the ocean.
Jellyfish have no brain and no...
Jellyfish have no brain. This is why the evolutionists like to study them.
blood, but they do have eye spots that enable them to tell the difference between light and dark.
So they have an eye spot that can only tell light and dark. And because they only have an eye spot, we have an eye that can do a lot more than that. Gee whiz, colors, focus on distance, and everything else. That's proof we evolved from a jellyfish. That's the evolutionist thinking. They have a simple eye, we have a complicated eye. Therefore, we must have evolved from them. I don't know how you guys can not see how dumb that is. Okay.
And they can move independently of the current by a simple form of jet propulsion.
That is not a simple form of jet propulsion. How many muscles are required to expand the bell and contract the bell in the water over and over and over again? That's not a simple matter of reproduction, of propulsion, I'm sorry.
All jellyfish have stinging tentacles with which to catch their food.
They have these stinging tentacles hanging down. Some get really long, 7 feet long, and they tangle up the fish and suck him in and dissolve him. They are, we're going to run out of time on this one, but we could go for 3 years. The jellyfish is not simple, okay? It's really complicated. It has had to be designed. A few more seconds on this. I'm going to show you the more complicated part than this. Okay, listen. Oh.
As they pulse their bodies, the tentacles trap plankton, which is then passed towards their mouth in the center.
Well, that's enough for BBC. Okay. Jellyfish have chromosomes in their their DNA, chromosome, and they have to make copies of their chromosomes to have babies. You do too. Right now in your body, you have about 100 trillion cells, and they're dying off by the millions every hour, okay? And your body makes a new one. I cut my wrist here, cut my thumb here, cut my fingers here. I've had a lot of cuts in the last couple of days working on different stuff, and they all heal up. The body has to make a copy of the cell to do for the healing process, or just because the cell wears out. In each cell has 46 chromosomes, except for the gametes. They got 23. Okay, so these chromosomes have to make a copy of that's the DNA code. If I gave you a book like Webster's Dictionary and said, here, make a copy of this in 30 seconds. You say, not possible. Correct. They make a copy of their code. I'll show you here. Right here. That would be this one. Yeah. This is what Charlie Darwin, or this is what Galileo, when he first looked at the moon through the first telescope, he said, wow, it's got holes in it. It's got a bunch of, not holes, but a bunch of craters. And he drew sketches. So this guy's going to say how that we cannot see the DNA with the microscopes enough to make a video of it. Instead, they just make drawings and animations. So this is what they say the DNA does, right? An animation. What happened here? Did I not get it, brother? Oh, there we go. I lost the audio. Oh.
Your little speaker.
Oh, right here. Okay. So Charlie Darwin there.
His perception of how all the species, all living things on Earth are connected through evolutionary history.
That's the drawing Charlie Darwin made in his notes that started this whole stupid idea of evolution, having a family tree. Real dumb.
The origin of species through natural selection and divergence from an ancestral population. Even as a scientist, I used to go to lectures by molecular biologists and find them completely incomprehensible with all the fancy technical language and jargon that they would use in describing their work. Until I encountered the artworks of David Goodsell, who was a molecular biologist at the Scripps Institute. And his pictures are all, everything's accurate, it's all to scale, and it's computer graphics to represent the molecular world. What would it look like? And that's how I really began. So let's begin. This is DNA in its classic double helix form, and it's from X-ray crystallography, so it's an accurate model of DNA. If we unwind the double helix and unzip the two strands, you see these things that look like teeth. Those are the letters of genetic code, the 25,000 genes you've got written in your DNA. This is
the code to make any living thing. The DNA, deoxyribonucleic acid. It has to unwind and unzip, and now make a copy, and then zip back up and wind back up. And nobody designed any of this. Keep that in mind, right? It all happened by chance, right?
What they typically talk about, the genetic code, this is what they're talking about. But I want to talk about a different aspect of DNA science, and that is the physical nature of DNA. And it's these two strands that run in opposite directions for reasons I can't go into right now, but they physically run in opposite directions, which creates a number of complications for your living cells, as you're about to see.
And Hovind theory. God made it this way just so you atheists would someday have to realize that could not have happened by chance. Could not have happened. Does dropping ink on paper ever make a sentence or a book? No. It takes intelligence to arrange the ink in a certain way so it makes a book. Yeah.
Most particularly when DNA is being copied. And so what I'm about to show you is an accurate representation of the actual DNA replication machine that's occurring right now inside your body, at least 2002 biology. So DNA is entering the production line from the left-hand side, and it hits this collection, this miniature biochemical machines that are pulling apart the DNA strand and making an exact copy. So
nobody made the machines, and nobody made this whole copy process. This all evolved over millions of years, probably billions, probably a long time.
DNA comes in and hits this blue donut-shaped structure, and it's ripped apart into its two strands. One strand can be copied directly, and you can see these things spooling off down to the bottom there. But things aren't so simple to the other strand because it must be copied backwards. So it's thrown out repeatedly in these loops and copied one section at a time, creating two new DNA molecules. Now, you have billions of this machine right now whirring their way inside you.
And Nobody made it. Billy, what else can I tell these atheists? There's got to be, well, there are different levels of stupid, right? This is severe stupid to believe in evolution.
Copying your DNA with exquisite fidelity.
That means it doesn't make mistake. If it doesn't make a mistake, something goes wrong. And you atheists want to believe that mistakes in the copying DNA is what made an amoeba turn to a whale. I don't think there's any hope for that. Okay.
It's an accurate representation, and it's pretty much at the correct speed for what's occurring inside you. But I've left out error correction and a bunch of other things. This was what...
Yeah, error correction. As it makes the copy, if it sees a little mistake, it corrects it if it can. If it can't, it scraps it. Now, see, you have enough DNA in your body. One person's DNA, if you unwound it like they did here, tied end to end, it would go across the solar system twice. Not just across Alabama, across the whole solar system. And you don't believe anybody designed it. Okay.
Work from a number of years ago. Thank you.
So I think we are just beginning to even understand, to be able to look at the code, let alone make a story of how it evolved. It didn't evolve, it was designed. So all you SpongeBob evolutionists who can imagine a jellyfish evolved for no intelligent designer, let's hear your scientific explanation, step by step, how this creature evolved, how the male jellyfish evolved the ability to make sperm. Did he make them for millions of years and for no reason because there was no Mrs. Jellyfish around? How did it happen? I don't want a story, a fairy tale. I want some science. You claim you got science on your side. God said he made let the waters bring forth abundantly the moving creature that hath life, and fowl that may fly above the earth in the open firmament of heaven, and great whales and every living thing, creature that moveth, which the waters brought forth abundantly after their kind, and every winged fowl. And God blessed them, and saying, be fruitful and multiply, and fill the waters in the seas, and let fowl multiply in the earth. God, in one day, just by speaking, made all these creatures, jellyfish, whales, everything in the water and in the air, birds and the fish, just by speaking. King David said, when I consider thy heavens, the work of thy fingers, the moon, the stars, that thou hast ordained, what is man that thou art mindful of him? You ever stand in awe at the universe? Have you folks visiting been up on the sand dune at night to see the stars up there? Well, you're from Alaska. You got the same thing all the time, don't you? Yeah, beautiful up there. You ever wish you knew the Creator? The purpose of our program is to help you get to know the Creator. He's amazing. Did the male jellyfish produce sperm for millions of years for no reason until it learned it had to find a female? He kept releasing it out into the water, wondering, what am I doing this for? I don't know. I just do it. Okay. Great auto companies create expensive cars and put lots of detail in to make people say, wow, look at that. That's designed. Anybody believe nobody designed it? Nobody would believe that. We need one of those around here, brother. Dinosaur Adventure Land. All in favor, say aye. Aye. And Rex, you want to drive it, right? I saw what you did to our excavator. You don't get to drive it, okay? I like that part of the tour. I stop and I say, well, we don't mention Rex's name, but one of our guys drove it over here. Okay. Some bodybuilders who can lift a zillion pounds and have muscles, like mine. They say, wow, this guy's strong. When you see amazing cabinet work, you say, wow, this guy's good. Nobody would believe nobody designed that. Fancy pottery, somebody designed it. The human body has 11 different organ systems. Digestive system, reproductive system, integumentary system, balance system, vision system, hearing system. And you think, and they all work together. Logical people should say, wow, there's a smart designer. I think there was a smart designer. Typical human has 40 trillion cells. They grow and reproduce, and the DNA code for each one has to go through that molecular machine process you just saw. Short answer is the body has 30 to 40 trillion cells. A cell is so complex that even the high level of technology attained today cannot produce one. Well, when logical people see that, they should say, wow, it's got a designer. See, God could take clay from the ground and make a man with 40 trillion complex cells. And atheists say, wow, all this evolved from nothing for no reason. A jellyfish. God makes billions of microscopic life forms as amazing as an egg-yolk jellyfish. Atheists say, wow, all this evolved from nothing for no reason. God said, I'm the Lord. My glory will I not give to another, neither my praise to graven images, okay? How manifold are thy works. In wisdom hast thou made them all. See, we don't have a problem giving God the glory for his creation. I wish you atheists would stop and think about what you think about. Who taught you that the jellyfish evolved? Go slap them, get your money back for that degree. Tear up that degree. It means nothing. If you came out with a PhD and believing you came from a rock and a jellyfish evolved, tear that up and throw it away. Start over, okay? That's useless. If you think it's good, you think you're smart, call 855 BIG-DINO, extension 4. Joe, schedule them, book them all. I'd like a debate every day, okay? Yes, all you atheists are invited. The month of January, how about that? 31 debates in January. Take you all on same time. Or one at a time. Line them up. It's not because I'm smart. It's because I'm on the right side, and you're on the wrong side. It's real simple. Okay, questions or comments, and we'll quit. Blessings. How were the lights yesterday? Carmen, they were incredible. We want to do that at Dinosaur Adventure Land. Slide down the sand dune into the water. I want to make one of them catapults where you get the 2 telephone poles and the big rubber bands and you launch the kid out over the lake. And that'd be cool, wouldn't it? Adam, you want to go? Noah, you want to go first?
Yep.
Yep. He says, yep. You're 11, right?
Yep.
Are you expendable?
No.
Did he figure out what it meant? He doesn't? Then you are. Okay. Anyway, okay, good. We have a lot of activities here. Come on down. What else, brother? Hi, Dr. Hovind. How many sensors are there in the human eye to form a picture? A bunch. I used to know the number. How many photoreceptors at the back of the eye? 1 square inch of your retina has, I don't remember. It's in my seminar part 4, I think. And they're all wired to the brain. Anybody, think how complicated is a camera to take the picture? Real complicated. Your eye is way better than that. I think you ought to give God the glory for that one. Okay, how many sensors in your eye? I don't remember the number, but you could look it up, okay? Shofar. Do you believe Zechariah 11:17 is referring to about the AC? And what does it sound like he comes out of Israel? Oh, Antichrist, okay. I'll have to share the verse separately, too many characters. Woe to the idle shepherd that loveth the flock. The sword shall be upon his arm and upon his right eye, and his arm shall be clean dried up, and upon his right eye shall be utter darkness. Zephaniah, Zechariah, Haggai, all those, I've read them 100 times, and they're just, I don't think I have all the answers to those, okay? Matthew Henry Commentary did a really good job on those books, but I think it probably is referring to the Antichrist. I have to give that a probable. Brother Meister, you got a theory on that? The Antichrist? Me neither. Okay. Oh, thank you, though. Good question. Okay. Darren, my female dog had puppies yesterday. They all came out dogs. No way. Are you sure? Check and be sure, okay? I think it'll happen next time, too. Crybaby, I'm so glad you listened. Listen, you keep listening to this channel, you're going to get converted, or you're going to get really angry. Can many creationists, including you, believe in a massive post-flood speciation? You can call it adaptation, but it's evolution. Well, crybaby, let me explain. Noah took 2 of each kind onto the ark. Since that time, they have diversified into lots of varieties of that same kind. There are 339 varieties of dogs that came from 2 dogs. That does not prove dogs and pine trees are related. I don't know how you don't see it. I don't know how. But we pray for you. We got you right up here. Billy, show people Crybaby up here, would you? We need to put him in profile, don't we? Profile. Okay, hang on. Okay, let's see. There we go. Creationist Crybaby. There he is. Pacifier. The whole thing. Keep studying, Crybaby. You'll get it. TikTok viewers are asking, what's the poster behind you? You have massive viewers on TikTok. Okay, this is the poster. This is the big version. This is the small version of my poster that goes along with my video series on what on earth is about to happen. Whoa, about the future. And it goes along with the book I wrote on that topic. What does the Bible say is about to happen on planet Earth? What on earth is about to happen, according to the Bible, about the future? I did a book on the topic while I was in prison unjustly for 9 years. And I did a video series when I got out. And I made this poster, and here's a small version of it for $10. On the back is Bible verses from the book of Daniel and the book of Matthew, Mark, and Luke. Jesus' disciples asked him at the beginning of Matthew 24, "Hey, Lord, when are you coming, and what's the sign?" And he tells about the tribulation time for 20 verses. And at the end, he says, "I'm coming back after the tribulation when the sun and the moon go dark." I don't know how I could have read that for so many years and missed it, but it's right there. Okay, because I used to believe in the pre-trib rapture, because that's what the Schofield Bible says. Well, it's got to be true. Not true, by the way. And then Mark chapter 13 and Luke chapter 21, same thing. They ask him at the beginning, "Lord, when are you coming, and what's the sign?" And he tells them. So anyway, this is finally had to change my theology and got it straight. This is a small version of the poster. That's the big version for you TikTok viewer. Big ones are what, 25 bucks, big chart. And you can study all the verses about each of the events on here. For instance, the first thing is going to be Antichrist is going to make a treaty that allows the Jews to rebuild their temple. That is in Daniel chapter 9, verse 27. Then there's a 7-year period of tribulation and then great tribulation. It's split into 2 parts. In the middle of the 7 years, which would be 3.5, the Antichrist breaks the treaty. And so I put bazillions of hours into this. I said, Lord, I just want to know the truth. Even if I don't like it, I want to know the truth. Then we have the rapture, when the sun and the moon go dark, mentioned 10 times. Then we're up here at the marriage supper of the Lamb for about 3 years, when the day of the Lord takes place, starts on earth, and it's a time of wrath. The day of the Lord has 2 parts. Some of it's a time of wrath where he's mad. And then there's a day of great blessing. I took this 1,000-year period, for you TikTok folks, you can see that, and had to cut out 230 years to make it fit on my chart. Otherwise, my chart would go from here to, Georgia. So anyway, that's what the answer to your question. That's the chart behind me that I refer to when we talk about end times, what's going to happen.
These 2 are kind of connected.
Okay. And Hovind theory, I believe it already started, the tribulation time. I think we're in it. Let's just see. Okay. How is a woman saved through childbirth? Well, if you read the story in Genesis it's referring to, it's a woman someday going to bring forth the Messiah. That's how we're all saved, through bringing forth the Messiah. Praise God for that. Kent, do you believe work is inherently virtuous? I know that we're cursed to toil and work the earth, but I also read that work has intrinsic value. Could you explain that? The Bible says the desire accomplished is sweet to the soul. If you're not having peace and sweet and joy in your life, it's probably because you're not working. When you work and accomplish something, even if you're tired, and you will be tired, you just feel like, man, I accomplished something today. Some of you sit around and play video games all day and wonder why life's no fun anymore. It's never going to be. What have you accomplished in the last year? It's the end of December. What can you look back and say, I built that, I did that, I wrote that book, I did a video series. What have you accomplished? Tell you what, isn't there some button on your phone you can tell how many hours you spent playing video games on your phone? Yeah. Why don't you check back on that and wonder why you don't have any peace and joy in your life? So, plus you sleep better at night. Man, when you work hard, you don't have a problem going to sleep. Just crash, okay? So yeah. It is a curse God put on the ground, and he said, Adam, cursed is the ground for thy sake. I'm doing this for your own good, son. And it is good, okay? Last one. Let's see. Did you know scientists have discovered that ants break seeds into halves before storing them so they can't germinate? I did not know that. Is that true? You heard that before?
No, but it's
They break the seed in half so it can't germinate. But coriander seeds can, even after being broken in half. Send the link to that. I'd like to read up on that. That's cool. See, the ant's brain is pretty small. Yeah. Okay. Egg, yolk, jellyfish. Hope that helps. See you tomorrow. No, Sunday. Back in John chapter